we're here, man. Here in Nashville.
Yep. Nashville, Tennessee.
Excited to talk about what we're gonna talk about.
Whew.
Long time coming, man.
Man, it is.
Congratulations to
Thank
you
you.
and the guys.
Thank you. It's been a year.
Holy moly.
Yep. Oh.
It's here.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, congratulations.
Whoa.
Seriously.
I got so excited, I almost fell out of my seat, Shane.
Yeah. So you should be excited about it. It's a great album. And Nude Canoe cycles. And it's cool because I have been like the cheerleader on the side as you guys started this, and how this came together is really cool. So
it's been kind of a secret in the OutHouse world, hasn't it? Like you were recently in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, I was having some clients, and some like, well, did you download Eric's new album? With his band Nude Canoe. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah. And it's the same thing with me painting.
It's true.
I don't really, people don't know, and then they see, and then you see work in JW Marriott and galleries and stuff all over the place, and I just kind of keep a lid on that too. What is that?
I think most people are like that, right?
Yeah.
Like we all have these things that we enjoy and that we do that are our passions and creativity. We don't always talk about it, to people. I mean, they just kind of stumble into, oh, you're in a band? Yeah. How long? Since high school.
Yeah. I mean, you're back to Battle of the Bands, and you guys were winning. Yeah. It's funny because I know all the members of Nude Canoe, and you guys are all so different from each other, but have this bond. Yeah. Like you like your brothers, like you were all raised in the same house or something. You all look out for each other. You guys always have. You're all really good people and extremely talented. John Hawes on the drums killed it.
I love John. I always have loved John as a drummer.
And you know what's funny, because he has such that drummer vibe to him, but the same thing with Matt Borders and his guitar playing.
He's on a whole different level.
He's always been a phenomenal guitar player. And he's my guy that always, anytime I ever listen to Pink Floyd, I think of Matt. You guys go back and forth, like usually take 50% of the vocals. He takes 50% of the vocals, and, kind of goes back and forth. But I think you guys really married this nicely in this album. Yeah. Cool.
Before we talk about any of the other members, I mean, I can't give enough kudos and props to Matt Borders on this entire project.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone in the band has really elevated as an artist, as a musician, as a player. But Matt has hit the stratosphere, in my opinion. And he did that not only with his guitar and his vocals, but he did it with all kinds of production and engineering. Like, we did this album ourselves for the first time.
Yeah.
We lost our longtime engineer producer, Joe Bubin. He passed away.
Yeah.
And so Matt really grabbed this and took it and created a sonic piece of art that I'm astounded.
So like Dan Murphy, so Dan comes in, and what he brings to the table, and his rhythm guitar and
he
guitar.
He kind of started the whole thing.
Yeah.
He wrote 2 tunes,
Yeah.
And that kind of started the ball
and with that, how many, you guys all contributed to the writing?
Yes.
Is that even Brett? Brett
wrote 3 of the songs on the album, maybe 4, and one of them is the title track, which Dan Murphy clearly states is his favorite song of all time.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brett had a huge part to play in this, but Brett's game has been elevated for a long time. He always is involved in the music world, whether it's house music in Chicago, which he's big into. He does all kinds of events and DJing stuff, and I mean, he'll just blow me away. Sometimes I'm like, hey Brett, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, well, I'm going on tour with the Ohio Players. We're playing down in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm like, what? Rewind?
Yeah.
What? So yeah, Brett's a great keyboard piano player, but of course, as we discovered on this album, really good songwriter.
everybody on this album. And of course you know, and your vocals and you playing the bass and you doing, but as I was talking to you through this process, you were also saying like, well, listen here, and this is Matt here, and then I came in here, and then, but you guys all contributed at such a level that all of you take 100% ownership of this album.
Yes. Oh, it is definitely a Nude Canoe album.
Yeah.
No doubt. Everyone contributed and kind of built off the foundations that people were bringing in.
I like Antidote a lot.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah? Why?
Because the first time you listened, you said, dude, that song Antidote, like, whoa. What's cool to me is that these, you know, Nude Canoe and the members of this band have been friends of mine since, some of us, since kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Like, we've been around a long time. So those relationships are deep. But then I have this lifelong friendship with Shane that runs deep as well. And then on this project, not only do I get the amazing feeling of working with my brothers for all these years, but Shane got to be involved in this project.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you came to me and said something about album cover. I'm like, yeah, what are you thinking about doing? And then it was brought up like, well, maybe a couple paintings. And so I'm like, well, and I dug through my phone and I sent you 2 images. Now, I just sent 2 images to say, hey, what about these? You can use these if you want. They're recent paintings. Well, one, this was a recent painting. And then the one on the back, which is called Olives and Lace, you know? So, and that was from a while ago. But then you took those 2 images and you sent them to who?
Well, actually, we got together to do a production session together, Matt Borders and I. And you had just sent those over to me. And so I waited to send them until I saw him and we could talk about them. And I showed Matt Borders those 2 paintings. And his response was, that's it. He had no hesitation at all. More people have listened to the songs on this album than anything we've ever done combined. You know, and that makes you feel good. It's like, wow, the music stands on its own, you know, and no one, like John Hawes always says, he's like, you know, we did this, like we created this together. You can never take that away. Like that experience is ours forever. And then if other people get into it and want to listen to it, it's icing on the cake.
Yeah.
You know? So,
well, congratulations to you.
Thanks, man.
And,
I appreciate it.
And Cycles.
Thanks for contributing.
Yeah. Oh, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Cheers.